Hey everybody, Chris from Chris's Trains and Things. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the basement. I've been running these engines and the freight cars behind them for what feels like 5 years. What do we do with rolling stock? It's time to rotate these things out. I've had these three SD70 ACEs running for a very long time, and they need some maintenance and they need a break. So we're going to give them a little bit of a break. Behind them is my long modern freight consist that includes my die-cast Atlas stack train. I've got my auto racks, and I've got my gigantic 80 whatever foot box cars. They've been running on this layout for probably over a year now, I would have to say. On my inner loop, I have my Wheeling and Lake Erie SD40-2 and my Norfolk Southern SD40-2. Those have been running fairly recently as well, pulling a modern freight consist. Not quite as long as these SD70s, but for a long time. We gotta rotate these things out. We need variety. So tonight, that's exactly what we're gonna do. We're gonna change these out. We're gonna pick some new cars to put back on the layout. And I wanna show you what I do and how I store my rolling stock. Because if you're like me, the last thing I wanna do is put these things back in a box. So the first question is, as we come down to the basement, where do I put my rolling stock? Now I've got some shelves here. Behind me, you're gonna see I've got some coal hoppers and things like that on this shelf here. And if we come over to the other side of the basement, I've got another set of Glenn Snyder display shelving. And it's right here. And so on this wall, I do have a lot of rolling stock back here, but not too much. I've got some coal gondolas. I think maybe we need to pull those off the wall. And I've got a lot of passenger stuff and some reefers. Might be time to get the reefer train back out. But where else can we store trains? Where else can we put them? So I have an area in the back of my basement also that we can go explore. So welcome to the storage area of my basement. It's a hot mess back here. The fact that I'm showing this to you online is shocking. But up here, I've got some tank cars that I've got stored. You'll notice that they're not in boxes. Down this middle shelf behind me is really storage for my workbench, which is kind of where I'm staring. It's on the other side of you. And then I've got some other boxes and crates and empty boxes down here. There's some cabinets over there with more boxes in them, but they're empty. So, like I said, I've got some storage up here for those tank cars, but where else can I put other pieces of rolling stock if they don't fit on my layout? Well, the nice thing about a layout is it's a giant table, and you can put stuff underneath it. No, down here. Hey, there we go. How are you? So we're underneath the layout now. Here's the Cardinal set box. This thing takes up way too much space. Now we're underneath the part of my layout that has my kids' table down here. And I did a video on building this a while ago. And quite honestly, we don't pull this out all that often because we've got the giant layout and the kids would rather run their trains up there. So this takes up some space, but underneath this is where I store some of my trains. Let me show you. If we move this box out of the way, you'll see I've got some crates, some track. Here, we've got some more. Let's dive in. So down here, I've got these crates. I purchased these from the Container Store. And the nice thing about these are pretty sturdy, and they do a great job of storing trains. So let's see what we have in this box. So in here, we've got some of my daylight passenger cars. We've got a reefer. Let's keep this out. Oh, we've got one Polar Express car.
All aboard! This is the Polar Express!
Too soon. That's not all. We have more. So what do we have in here? Hobo, you can stay back there, buddy. Ooh. Reefer. 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 So we've got some of the reefers out, and we've got some reefers already on the layout, and there's some more over on the wall. So let's gather them all up and put them on the layout, and we'll see how many we have, and then we'll figure out what we're going to take off. I've got to figure out where to store all those giant box cars. You know, I bought all those and thought it was a great idea. I still think it was, but I have no idea where I'm going to put them. They're not going to fit in those crates, at least not all of them. So I might have to make a run to the container store, but we don't have time to do that today. Let's go get those reefers. We'll figure the rest out later. And you. And you. And you. And you. And you. Ta-da! Maybe if I would have kept these things on the layout longer, I would have stopped buying so much modern stuff and stuck with Steam era stuff. No better time than the present. Now I will admit, it is nice to have some modern stuff on the layout, and I do have another SD40-2 coming soon. So I'm thinking we just create a unit train of some kind. So the question is, do we do coal or oil? Let's go with coal. Four cars, that's all we have left. Stat cars are there, got everything else in the bins. The big boy. So let's break out the big boy for the next couple weeks on the layout, running around with those reefers. We've got the coal train going with the SD40-2s. I'll have another SD40-2 that we'll add to that here soon when it arrives. So as my good friend Chris says, sit back, relax, and enjoy.